Somos 1 is a novice-level Spanish curriculum designed to help students build real-world language proficiency through meaningful communication. And Somos 1 Novice is not your traditional textbook program. It is a multi-year, acquisition-focused curriculum that helps students develop Spanish proficiency by immersing them in high-interest, culturally rich communication that they can truly understand right from day one. You see, at the Comprehensible Classroom, our core belief is that all students are capable of acquiring language. And our acquisition-focused approach enables all students to experience success building proficiency in new languages.
Somos is a proficiency-oriented language program. It is designed to help students build linguistic proficiency. Proficiency can be broken down into several components: content, function, accuracy, and text type. The working definition we use is that proficiency is being able to successfully communicate about things for purposes. As students build proficiency, they develop the ability to communicate about more topics, accomplish more tasks with greater accuracy or success, with an always increasing ability to elaborate or explain. The Somos program is engineered to help students do just that, to successfully communicate about topics and for purposes. Just take a look at what students can do as a result of instruction with Somos. Here is a pre- and post-assessment for a student who completed the first 8 units of the curriculum in their first year of Spanish. The pre-assessment demonstrates that the student had no communicative competence in Spanish at the beginning of the year. At the end of the year, wow, just take a look at this excerpt. Un día Mike quiere sus amigos ir a España. Todos los amigos de Mike dicen, sí, pero ¿cuándo? Sus amigos hablan y hablan, pero no saben cuándo pueden van a España. Mike quiere encontrar un amigo tomar a España. Mike busca y busca. Entonces Mike ve que su amiga que se llama Elizabeth. Mike camina hacia Elizabeth y dice, ¿quieres ir a España conmigo? This student is already performing solidly at intermediate low in presentational writing, using a variety of words, phrases, and strings of original sentences to elaborate a little on familiar topics, with errors. Yes, there are errors, but with errors that do not interfere with communication in the present tense. We were able to understand everything the student was trying to say.
Somos is grounded in the principles of Comprehension-Based Communicative Language Teaching, or CCLT. That means that instead of memorizing vocabulary lists or conjugation charts in isolation, students acquire language naturally through stories, conversations, readings, and real-world content that is meaningful to them. Some of the topics addressed in the program include Cumbia music as an example of the cultural fusion in Latin America, mate as a social ritual in Argentina and Uruguay, and iconic foods from throughout the Spanish-speaking world. As a novice program, Somos 1 has enough units to accompany students through their full journey in the novice range of proficiency. Teachers can use it for a single year or up to 2 years, selecting units based on the topics that they want to address with their learners. Every unit is carefully designed to provide repeated exposure to high-frequency language structures in context. The result? Students use the language confidently and with purpose long before they study it formally. Daily, students engage in authentic communication, communicating to connect, to learn and to teach, and to be entertained.
Traditionally, language curricula are designed to equip students with components, grammar and vocabulary, that they can practice combining so that they can one day use what they have practiced for in the real world. At the Comprehensible Classroom, we see things differently. The classroom is the real world. Your students are real people living in the real world, capable of using a real language for authentic communicative purposes now within the walls of your classroom. They can learn, connect, and be entertained using a language that they are learning now. They don't need to wait to communicate. Some of the communicative activities that are used frequently in Somos include storytelling, to learn and be entertained, learning new information through reading, connecting by talking about students' lives, playing games to learn or review information or simply to have fun, discussing the weather, the date, and the news, and describing people, places, events, and ideas to peers.
Somos 1 is structured around core vocabulary and content topics, not grammatical structures. So you won't see chapters titled present tense or reflexive verbs. Instead, you'll find units like a traditional story from the Caribbean with a history of storytelling and oral tradition, an exploration of children's rights through real-world policies in Latin America, an examination of the modern-day debate about bullfighting and whether this traditional practice is coming to an end. These aren't just engaging topics, they are vehicles for acquiring critical language in context. Students develop proficiency by listening to and reading language that they understand, and then responding in ways that are developmentally appropriate for novice learners. That includes interpersonal communication, interpretive reading and listening, and presentational writing and speaking, all aligned with ACTFL's proficiency guidelines.
The Somos program makes communication possible from day one of Level 1 through careful scaffolding. Each unit of the curriculum introduces students to a new set of core vocabulary. The core vocabulary will be used repeatedly throughout the unit, embedded in communicative contexts. Students will hear questions about their lives that use the core vocabulary word. They will hear and read stories that use the core vocabulary. They will read articles and answer questions about products, practices, and perspectives that are explained with core vocabulary. The meaningful, repeated exposure to a small set of core words in each unit helps students process the language coming in. It helps students to understand what they are hearing and reading so that those words can become part of their internal linguistic system. The core vocabulary is not the only vocabulary to which students will be exposed in each unit. Students will use many other words to communicate about the topics featured in every unit of the program, but the core vocabulary words will carry forward into all future units. We call this spiraling. By spiraling a set of high-leverage vocabulary from unit to unit, the Somos program leans into the frequency effect, which is one factor that impacts language acquisition. Students need repeated exposure to a word over time, with initial repetitions close together and then more spaced out as time goes on. With each new unit, more new words are spiraled in, which enables students to continue building their communicative proficiency. They are able to interpret and talk about more and more topics and accomplish ever more tasks as their working vocabulary grows and their internal linguistic system becomes more robust.
Culture isn't just an add-on or an afterthought in Somos, it's integrated in every unit. We use real practices, products, and perspectives from across the Spanish-speaking world to help students build intercultural competence and global awareness alongside linguistic proficiency. Every lesson in Somos 1 comes with a full teacher guide, student materials, answer keys, editable slides, and detailed daily plans. Teachers don't need to plan from scratch. At the same time, the curriculum is flexible, so teachers can adapt and personalize as needed for their unique students. The Somos 1 curriculum is rigorous, engaging, and research-aligned. It's built to help teachers succeed and students thrive as real users of Spanish. If your district is looking for a program that goes beyond worksheets and prepares students for authentic communication in the real world, Somos is exactly what you're looking for. Thank you for considering the Somos curriculum. We would be honored to partner with you in transforming language learning in your schools.